Hey, this is Scott, and today I just want to quickly talk about a couple of power banks that I've been using from TNTOR, or TNTOR, however they pronounce their name. So I'm not a super technical person when it comes to things like this, but they asked me if I wanted to try out a couple of their power banks. So I said yes, because power banks are always extremely useful. So I've been using these for the past couple of weeks, and I just want to talk about them just as it pertains to my use. I'll tell you the specs, of course, and what they can do technically speaking, but otherwise it's just going to be my impressions of after using them and things like that. I have here two versions that they sent me. One is a very, very thin 5000 milliamp hour power bank, and the other is a 10,000 milliamp power bank with quite a lot more features that we'll talk about in just a second. For me, this thin one has been great just to carry around with me. I mean, it's super thin and it's smaller than like iPhone 10, for example, so you can slide it in your pocket no problem together with your phone, or slide it into the pocket of your backpack or camera bag or whatever you need. If I'm using this to power the motor for a motorized slider, I can slip it into the carry case for that, no matter how small the carry case is. It's just something that can really go everywhere, and at 5000 milliamps it's not too bad in terms of power output either. For an iPhone 10, for example, if you charge it from 0 to 100, I believe it can do like 1.5 or 2 times from this power bank. For a lot of other uses, this is going to be more than enough as well, but it's got a really, really small form factor, which is cool. It has a 5V 2 amp output, which is pretty standard now, and that's a USB connection, of course. And there's also an input here, which I have the version made for iPhones, so this is a lightning connector. So it comes with this little cable that actually has USB on one end and lightning connector on the other, and that means that I can of course use this to charge my phone, but if I flip this around, I can plug it into the lightning in on the battery, on the power bank itself, and then I can charge this from another USB charger, like from the wall or something like that. So with one cable you can just flip it around to use it either to charge your phone from the power bank or to charge the power bank itself, and you don't need an extra cable, which I appreciate. Originally, because this is smaller and I think very convenient to use to power your phones, I thought, hey, I would have liked to have that cable be built into the body here. But they do have actually another model of power bank made by TNTOR that does have the design. And in any case, actually, I've been finding this useful to power more than just my phone. So in that way, I'm actually glad that they don't have that cable built in, because then you're stuck to one type of connection. But with this, you can use it for a variety of things. It's got a really nice build. It's pretty much all metal, it seems like. And it feels solid. I'm not too worried about this breaking over time or having any issues like that. This little guy though is quite versatile. It has quite a lot built into it. You can see obviously here there are some LED lights, and you can turn those on at 2 different power levels or a flashing pattern, and they're actually fairly bright. I've used this as like a little base to put under some products in some kind of B-roll for different reviews you may have seen if you watch this channel. And I did notice that on the higher power, this doesn't seem to have any problems with flicker. I've filmed up to 72 frames per second with this in the shot, and I didn't notice any flicker, but when you do put it on the lower power setting, it does flicker. And I've noticed that even at slower frame rates. So if you want to use this in video for whatever reason, then you're going to be stuck to the higher power. I don't know the specs as far as how high the quality is for the output of this, but if you're using it just for like a kicker light or something like that, a little accent light, not a key light, then that doesn't really matter quite as much anyway. And on the other side of this, it has solar charging. Of course, this is not going to charge it as quick as the import on here, but if you're stuck in some kind of situation where you don't have access to actual standard power, then you can charge this off of the sun to a certain extent. So that's nice to have just in case of an emergency. This does have a small input jack on the side, and it comes with the cable to charge it, but no other cables. But it has 2 USB outs on here, and they're both 5V 2 amp outputs, so you can use those both at the same time, or just use one of them if you want. And there is the little button on the side here to turn on the lights. If you double tap it, it will turn the LEDs on. Tap it once more to go to the lower power, and once more to go to the blinking, and then once more to power it off. Very simple and easy to use, and I found that this button was really responsive. Another cool way to use this LED light is to use it with this kind of rubber cover that they have supplied with it. And this is like a cell phone cover almost, where you just slip it on there, and then it has these 2 flaps in the back that have some holes in it, and you can flip these up, and it comes with this little carabiner style connection too, so you can hook that onto here. And then you could, like, if you're again in a gazebo or a tent or something, if you're out camping, or if you're out having a barbecue or something at night under a patio, you could just hook this to the top here, and then you could turn that light on, and you've got light in that area that you're in. So that's really cool, and it's a nice way to utilize this light in a very easy way. Otherwise, it's built pretty solidly. I mean, there's a lot of plastic in this one just because of the physical design of it with the solar power on one side and the LEDs on the other. But generally speaking, it does feel well made. And again, I think that TNTOR is a pretty good company that stands behind their products. I believe there is like a 1-year warranty on this, which always, inspires confidence, the fact that the company stands behind their products. So overall, I've been very, very pleased with this, and I've been bringing these along with me in a lot of different situations. They've worked really flawlessly. I mean, the power banks, you plug them in and they power your stuff, but again, this has a lot more built into it. So these are pretty cool if you are looking for some affordable choices to get more power that you can easily bring with you on the go. One other thing that I did notice is it does seem that you can use pass-through power with these, so I'm not sure if that's something that they advertise or recommend, but I have been able to have these power banks plugged in, and then I can power something from the power bank at the same time. So, if you only have one place to plug something in, you could plug in the power bank and then you get 2 outputs from here. So at times that could come in handy as well. If you want to see their prices or availability or anything like that, you can check the link in the video description. I'll have all that information down there. If you have any questions or comments, though, let me know down below and I will do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. If you like this video or found it helpful, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to see more in the future, and hit the little bell icon to get notifications when new content is uploaded. As always, thank you for watching.